Hi everyone, Nathan here from Mighty Lancer Games, and we're just going to give you a quick review today of the differences between Reaper Bones and the newer grey Bones material, which is these two, Bones Black, and the new Bones USA. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the original Bones material, which is this figure. This is 77420 Orndine. Get her in the middle. And she's in the old white Bones material that you're probably more familiar with. This is a dark elf, and you can see how flexible her sword and her bits are and how wobbly she is on her base there. So that's probably the material that you think of primarily when you think of Bones. What they've started doing now is producing them in this more grey material, which is a lot more hard wearing, a lot more rigid. Obviously there's some quite thin areas there. They're still a little bit flexible, but her hand is quite tough. And so she's from 2018, and this is one of the ones that's still made in China. So she's quite tough. Obviously the larger that you go, the reason I've got this ape here is just to demonstrate how tough they are. Once you start getting like the thicker bands of material, he's quite robust. And then we're going to look at the Bones Black. So we'll just whip her out of the packet there. This is one that I've had stashed away for quite some time. Tara the Silent, don't think you can get her at the moment. She's Bones Black. Now, if you can see, there's applying quite... Ooh. So there's a lesson. So if you bend them too much, because it's a lot harder plastic, you can see the little stress marks there. So she's more likely to snap than she is to bend, like the original Bones material. Very forgiving. Bones Black is a lot tougher, but also a lot more brittle in with it. But obviously you get a lot finer level of detail on your figures. So she's very nice. So then we've got the new Bones USA. So this is Darius the Blue. He's a new figure, available on our website, mightylancergames.co.uk. And here he is. So you can see how sharp the detail is on this, and you can even see the patterning on the inside of the cloak here if you look carefully. I'm getting a bit closer. See the patterning on the inside of the cloak? I don't think we'd have got that with any of the previous models, and how sharp these mould lines are here. So a little bit of cleanup required just on the edges of his hats and what have you, because they're moulded in a new process, thermoplastic injection apparently. And so you can see the rat there on his spell book. But he's a really nice figure, and you can just feel the difference when you pick it up. It feels a lot more rigid. So can you, how bendy is he? Let's see how bendy he is. He's stiffer, a lot stiffer than even the Bones Black figure. I like it. So yeah, he's not got very many. Oh, there you go, a little bit of bend in the end of his hat, but apart from that, he's pretty tight, shall we say. I'm not sure about that patterning actually. No, it's the same there, but not on there. So that's the edge of his cloak turned back, has got the same patterning on as the inside here. That's pretty cool. Good attention to detail. I think these are digitally remastered sculpts of original metal figures, the Bones USA figures. So they should be pretty good. So what we're going to do is go away and wash these, and then we're going to come back and see how they take some paint. Hi everyone, we're back. So we've given these guys a wash up with some soapy water and a toothbrush, and they're obviously all awesome. Haven't cleaned the mould lines off yet, so we're just going to do a paint test. So on this guy, we're going to paint a bit of his cloak. On her, we're going to paint her. I think we'll paint her boots, and on this lady, I think we'll paint her trousers. Yep, leggings. We'll probably do that. So this is some Reaper 9230 soft blue, and we're just going to paint it on without undercoating the model. We're just going to paint it straight on after we've given them a good wash. So Reaper always say that you can paint straight onto the model, but without washing it, but we like to always give them a wash with nice soapy water just to make sure that they're all clean and we get rid of all the mold residue and all the bits and pieces. So here we go, just thin the paint down a little bit and see how it goes on. So that's gone okay on there. So we'll leave that to dry, but that's it's not run away like I have experienced even with after washing some Bones models in the past. So that's pretty cool. Let's try our original Bones material. So we'll do her trousers up to her knees, so we're not keeping you waiting while we paint the whole thing. You can tell the difference straight away, the lighter material. The way the paint's covering, it's definitely going to take 2 coats on this to get a nice even finish. And then we'll paint this back section of the cloak on Darius here, and we'll just see how that goes. I'm expecting good things from this. It's the darker material. It should take the paint pretty nicely. That's going on really well, which I was expecting, since it's the brand new state-of-the-art material. That looks really, really good. So this is, I think, more akin to almost a resin material, although it is a plastic. It looks great. So that's covered really well. We'll just wait for them to dry and then we'll come back and just have a quick sum up. Here are, won't say finished, but our test pieces. So here's our original bones material. Now this has already had 2 coats on the blue on the legs, but you can still see the white showing through in places. And all of these paints were from the same mix, so a little bit of water in, and they've all been mixed up to the same consistency. So you can see that the white is obviously very stark, showing through in places. It's going to need potentially 3 coats to get a decent finish on there. I tend to, whenever I'm painting bones miniatures, I always paint them with a brush on primer first, and I usually use a grey or a black, to be fair. So I'm not blaming the paint, it's the white of the miniature really that's causing that. But yeah, so as I said, very flexible, that one. Here's our bones black, so that's 1 coat of the blue over the bones black figure, and that went on really easy, and has pretty much covered up the stress marks that I created when I nearly bent her off her ankles. And she looks really nice. She's a beautiful figure, and hopefully Reaper will re-release it soon, so you can all get your hands on one. But she's great, and the paint just went on like a dream, as you would expect. And then we've got our new Bones USA. So this guy was an absolute treat to paint. The paint just like went on so smooth, the surface so nice. A little bit more cleanup than you might expect from other Bones figures. I don't know if you can see the mould lines there and on the side of the hat and what have you. A little bit of flash, obviously, the way here on the sleeve. Different way of producing their figures maybe than normal. But also, because it's a bit harder, should be a lot easier to clean up, to get those mould lines off without scraping the surface of the figure quite so much. So he's lovely. Like I said, so much better feeling when you pick up the figure compared to these two. Drop him on the floor. So when you just feel so much more robust when you pick up the newer material, and the paint went on so nice. So definitely, I hope Reaper manufacture a lot more figures. There's currently only this chap and a female wizard, Lysette, I think it is, that will be available from our web store soon. That are available. I think they're going to release 1 a month over the course of the year, and then get into full production from their facility in the States. So underneath you can tell whether it's a Bones USA figure, because it's got embossed on the bottom of the base. It says Reaper, and on this side it says USA. So you'll know whether you've got one, but you can definitely tell the colour in the material between the Bones black is definitely a darker grey to the lighter grey of the Bones USA. So I would heartily recommend that you check out Bones USA miniatures as more are produced, but this guy's a beautiful model, a digitally remastered version of the original metal figure. So come over to mightylancergames.co.uk and check him out.